Hey everyone, again, thank you for being patient with the weather. This will be the medium video, I guess, so I'm going to be showing you how to play a song. And the song I'm going to teach you is from Edgar Winter Group, and it's called Free Ride. You might have heard it before. It's a great riff. Let me show you how it sounds real quick here on iTunes. If you want to download it, you can. Here we go. Okay, so it's a real popular song. It's very fun to play. It's going to use some techniques that you might not be familiar with, or you may be. There's some triads. And once again, I'm in standard tuning, so E, A, D, G, B, E from the top down. Sorry for all you people that like to down tune this week. We're going to be in standard tuning. So if you are tuned to step low, for whatever reasons, you can get a capo and capo the 2nd fret, and then you can play these, like I'm saying, just 2 frets higher than what I really am saying. So that's for all you people that down tune. Otherwise, standard tuning is exactly like I'm going to say it is. Okay, so the way this starts out is we're going to actually take our 3rd finger, our ring finger, we're going to slide on the 5th string from the 7th fret to the 9th fret. And once again, I have a clean tone on my amplifier here, real nice. Clean sound on my Stratocaster here. I'm using the neck pickup, so it's got a real fat tone to it. Once again, 3rd finger, 7th to 9th fret. Then I'm going to bar across 7 with my 1st finger, and I'm pressing, I'm trying to get the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th string to ring out. Okay, and once you do that, now you're going to hammer on simultaneously with your 2nd and your 3rd finger, and I'm going to hammer on like this, same time. And that's on the 8th fret, 2nd string, and the 9th fret, 4th string. So, slide, bar across 7, add on your 2nd and your 3rd finger at the same time. Okay, so, and I'm going to slide up as I add those on. A step with that same shape. So if I tab these out, the first shape, of course, 7 to 9 slide on the 5th string, bar across the 7th fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Then my next shape in tab, there's no bottom string. It's going to be the 8th fret 2nd string, the 7th fret 3rd string, and the 9th fret 4th string. And I'm going to slide this up a step, and I'm going to get now no bottom string, the 10th fret 2nd string, the 9th fret 3rd string, and the 11th fret 4th string. So, now I'm going to remove these. I'm going to strum it a couple times. I'll do, okay, and now I go like this, move it back a step and strum it once, and then remove them and strum the 7th fret again. So, that's the first time through. Second time through, I'll do here, and then an A. Okay, so let's talk about that in tab. One thing again, I'm going to do the 7th to 9th fret slide on the 5th string. I bar across 7 on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Now I'm going to add my 2nd and my ring finger simultaneously to the 8th fret 2nd string and the 9th fret 4th string. Strum it again, remove them, and I'm going to bar 7 again on the same 3, and then an A chord. And you can make the A chord with the traditional fingers, 1, 2, and 3 on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, and strum all but the top. Or you can actually bar with your 1st finger on those as well to get the same effect. So, that's one time through. Now you notice in between those I was raking. Okay, a rake is done by just barely touching the strings and strumming them. And that'll produce a rake. So, and on my rakes I was doing down, up, down, up. Then, now this is a real funky feeling song, literally from the genre. So it has a lot of like rhythm quirks to it that you'll learn as you go. It's difficult to get fast. see that as you play it and practice it, but that's what you want to try and memorize so far in this. So that's the main riff, that's the idea that everybody knows and recognizes as the song. So really practice memorizing that. If you need to, rewind this again and just watch me say those numbers over and over and you'll get it. Those are triad shapes again, if you're not familiar with those. It's okay, this would be a good lesson for you to try those. They're based upon the A shapes. I'm using the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th string for all those. Once again, this first one across 7 is actually a D. It comes from the D bar chord, or you can take an A and move it A, B, C, D, meaning I'm moving it from A to B as a whole step, B to C as a half, and from C to D as a whole to make it a D. And then I'm going to take this shape right here, which is where I add the 2nd and the 3rd finger simultaneously. And that's from the bottom on the 2nd string. It's 8, and then 7 on the 3rd, and then 9 on the 4th. This is a G, and it comes from this A shape up a step higher, moved back. We'll talk about those inversions maybe in a lesson with your instructor some other time if you want to know those. But that's the shape. Slide it up a step, and that's going to be equal to an A. Okay? And then when you move it back down, it's the same shapes repeated, and then you go to an actual A chord at the end of that riff. Okay? So that's the first part. The next step is some power chords, and if you're not familiar with power chords or you didn't get what I just said in the first part, this would be a fun exercise for you as well. This is a little bit easier. Power chords are done with 2 fingers or with 3, meaning I'm going to use my 1st finger, my 1st and my 3rd, or my 1st, my 3rd, and my 4th. The reason why we have an option is the main part of the chord is a 5th. That's a root and a 5th with your 1st and your 3rd. When you add your pinky, it's just an octave, which is the same thing as the root. So on that one, we're going to start here with a D power chord, which is from the 5th string, 5th fret, 1st finger, and then I'm going to add my ring finger on the 7th fret, 4th string, and then my pinky on the 3rd string, 5th fret, or 7th fret as well. So that's going to give me 5, 7, 7, down 1. If you've heard me say that before, you'll know what I mean, but that means it's starting on the A string, 5th fret, then the 7th fret underneath that, and the 7th fret underneath that in tab. Okay? So that's 1 strum there. Now, I'm only going to strum the 3 I'm touching. You don't want to hit the open string. Does not sound good, so try not to do that. You want to hit those 3. And you can mute it by hanging your 1st finger down a little bit and bumping those other ones so it's quiet. I'm actually not barring. If you look, I'm not flatting my finger like this. I'm actually kind of barely touching those. I know from this angle it looks like I'm barring, but I'm not. Okay? And I don't strum the top string, and you can do that by pushing your 1st finger barely up and touching it just barely, and that'll help mute it. So you'll strum this one once, and then we'll move it back a step to a C power chord, which is now skip the top string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 5th fret. So 3, 5, 5, down 1, if you're familiar with that lingo. Okay, so 5, 7, 7, down a string, 3, 5, 5, down a string, and now an A chord. Okay, now the next one is going to be an F sharp. And an F sharp is on the top string. From the 6th string, it's 2, and then 4, and then 4, or the 2nd fret, 6th string, and the 4th fret, 5th string, and then the 4th fret, 4th string. Okay, I'll play that one, and now I'm going to move it to the G power chord, which is the 3rd fret, top string, 5th fret, next string, and the 5th fret, the next string. So 3, 5, 5. And then I move it to 5, 7, 7, up a string, which is an A. Okay, I know we have an A here and we have an A here. You'll learn if you practice your power chords. There's many locations for the same chord, and it's in your interest to learn them all. Okay, so this is 5, 7, 7, up a string, which is an A. So we had D, C, A, F sharp, G, A. That's the verse. So you can practice that. You can go slow, that's fine, but you want to move these as a unit. Move the shape around. The shape is always the same. It just moves up or down a string. Okay? So I want you guys to really practice getting some accuracy with that. I don't want to hear the other strings ringing. Just these 3. Okay? All right, moving on. The next part is going to be the chorus. And the chorus is going to use some of the same ones that we did before. It's going to start with an F sharp, which was 2, 4, 4, up a string, 4, 2 on the 6th string, 4 on the 5th string, and then 4 on the D. Okay? G, so it goes F sharp to G, which is 3, 5, 5, up 1, or 3 on the 6th, 3 on the 5th, excuse me, 5 on the 5th, and then 5 on the D. So, and then to A on 5, 7, 7, up a string. So that's 4, pattern, it's okay if you don't get all this. Just know the durations. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Again, da, 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 da. But the second time we drop it down to a D instead of an A. It's still 5-7-7, but it actually starts on the 5th string. So the 5th string, 5th fret, the 4th string, 7th fret, and then the 3rd string, 7th fret. So, F sharp, G, A, F sharp, G, D. And then again, F sharp, G, D down a string. Okay? Now, the little lead line in between. This will be a nice little transition. If you want to try this part, you can. If you don't want to, it's okay. That goes like this. I'm on the 3rd string from the bottom, or the G, and I'm playing the 5th fret, and I'm going to rake it in between. I'll play the 5th fret, mute it. Okay, now the 4th fret, same string, and rake. 3rd fret, 2nd fret. So each one of those, the fret numbers were 5, 4, 3, 2. And you can use it with your pinky, your ring, your 2nd, or your 1st, or you can take your 3rd finger, your 2nd, your 1st, and your 1st. But try not to use one finger the entire time, okay? So once again, I'm going to play it, rake, down, and then again, rake, rake. Okay, now I'm going to hammer on the D string, 2nd to 4th fret. So that's the 4th string, or the D, 2nd to 4th fret, hammer on with the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. Now down a string on the third string from the bottom, 2nd fret, I'm going to play that twice. So that's, so far we have okay, now I'm going to bend the 3rd string, 4th fret twice. And I'm bending with my 3rd finger, 4th fret, 3rd string, and I'm going to bend it up as high as I can. A step bend. Twice. And now the 2nd fret, same string, so 2nd fret, G string. So far we have okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we'll take our 3rd finger and we're going to slide from on the G string again, 3rd string, 4th fret, we're going to slide it to the 6th fret. Okay, now underneath that we'll play the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then we'll play the 5th fret on the 1st string, and then we're going to go to the 2nd string, 8th fret, and we're going to slide it to the 10th. Okay, so that was one more time. 4th fret, 3rd string, sliding to the 6th with my 3rd finger. Underneath that, I'm going to play the 5th fret on the 2nd string, then the 5th fret on the 1st string, and then I'm going to slide from 8 to 10 on the 2nd string. Okay? Then I'm going to go back to the 4th fret, 3rd string, and bend it twice. And then the 2nd fret on the same thing. Exactly like you did before. So that whole last little lead solo is this. Okay, so your whole goal for the week is this. Here we go. Okay, so good luck, practice hard, try to memorize it the best you can. If you need a tab for it, I think you should be able to find one online, maybe on one of the guitar tab sites. If not, I will have one for you next week in the lesson if you'd like a tab of that. But hopefully you can decipher what I was saying with the numbers and the frets. I try to make that as clear as possible. Again, this is the medium video. Thank you again for being understanding about the weather today. Just want to make sure everybody's safe tonight after it gets colder and the sun goes back down and it gets icy. I don't want anybody driving for their guitar lessons. It's just kind of dangerous. So thank you again and good luck, and we'll see you next week.